Hey, Russ Maines here from Cranial Media. As you can see, I don't have my banner behind me tonight, and it's because my wife and I are moving to a new location with our two cute cats. Anyway, long story short, I'm picking up from where we left off before on what Machiavelli would have to say for project management. Now, the question comes down to this. Have you ever been given an opportunity of excellence from your boss? I know I have. You probably have, and probably are going through some growing pains as a manager yourself. Welcome to the club. Management is not easy, but it can be managed. So let's take a look at what Machiavelli has to say about all this business. And so what I want to do is give you a couple of slides about what his perspective is on territory. Let's start right now. Okay, so here let's kick it off. So Machiavelli basically broke things down in terms of territory. He covered territories such as republics, and then he calls out this other thing called principalities. And so we're going to talk about what Machiavelli says about principalities. In this particular case, you should consider them in terms of programs or project management. Okay? So here's Machiavelli over here thinking very deep thoughts about the type of territory that politicians have to conquer. So what I want to say is there are a couple of different types of programs: inherited, mixed, legacy, and divine. And what I mean by showing this graphic over here is this is a penetrator. This penetrating weapon was made by the Air Force Research Laboratory in 2018. It looks like every other penetrator from the eye. But if you knew what was really going on here, there's a new kind of plumbing inside of this penetrator. The steel is new. The explosive is new. It's all kind of new, but really it's all kind of old. The technology is just incremental innovations. There's nothing really groundbreaking here other than the fact that the steel is new, the explosives is new, and the plumbing is new. So how would Machiavelli approach this? All right. So let's say this penetrating weapon is the application. In that context, Machiavelli says that inherited projects are the easiest to manage. All you got to do is just do what the person before you did, and the incumbents, like, I don't know, your old mentors, usually do very well. Well, let me rephrase that. The incumbent is you, and you usually do pretty well because, well, it's an inherited program. And because of that, you don't have to change a whole lot of stuff. And the expertise of the staff, you can use those folks to quell any problems that you have. So your job is pretty simple. You just make nice, be patient, don't promise a whole lot of changes to the money or project management scheme or any of that, and just follow the examples of your previous successful owners. All right? And then trust your barons. Earn your trust. But keep your eyes open for opportunities as your nobles expect. So doing things that are stupid make the barons hate you. So listen to them. That's pretty simple, right? As the motorcycle goes by. The trouble begins with programs that are mixed. Let's say you have a munitions program. Or let's say you have a software program. And then somebody gives you more stuff to do. Well, let's say that stuff that you have to do actually is in somebody else's department. Well, that makes it more difficult because you have two different cultures. The team members, outsiders, and VIPs may not like your optics and may cause you problems. The barons, your staff, in other words, could think that they've gone from bad to worse. They may have hated the old guy and wanted you to come along, but they could turn on you for any reason for not giving them what they expected. And your boss, your nobles, may expect faster returns than you can deliver and grow tired of your slow progress. And for that, it means see Star Wars Return of the Jedi, where Darth Vader says, "We are here to accelerate your progress." Not in so many words, but whatever. So what you want to do is spend more time with your people in this project, not the old project that you manage, because This is new territory, and you need to colonize that territory. And in so doing, you want to make sure that you protect any weaker staff members and then challenge the strong ones. So in other words, you want to offset these people, the people who've been in there for 20 years or whatever. You want to take it to those people, right? And then the new guys, you kind of want to make those people a little bit more prominent. All right, so you can push the old people off, bring the new people in, and that is kind of a slow change that it might be good for the project. All right, but the big thing is this. If any of your staff members, any of your barons, threatens you, goes behind your back, your job is to confront them and put them down harshly. Because if you don't, other people will get the message that you are a softie. And so Machiavelli's wisdom is, it is better to be feared than loved if you can't have both. Right? All right, so that's where that quote comes from. Now let's go to the next one. Legacy projects. Let's say your project you're working on is like 10 years old, okay? These guys always cause problems because there have been a lot of leadership changes. The purpose becomes muddy, people remember the good old days, and they seek those times. Your sponsor's high expectations lead to doubt about continuing, okay? Your value is always challenged. In other words, you're not getting it from your team members, you're getting it from the boss. And they give you a ton of oversight, which has little value, and your incumbents outweigh your perspective because they've been around for so long. So that means you really can't do a whole lot. You have to change things, but do very little at first. All right, that's your job. Just suffer it out, okay? And then make skillful changes to add value. And by the way, never call a duck a duck. If you're going to make changes, never tell people what you're doing. You can describe the webbed feet, the feathers, the bills, or whatever, but never, ever tell them your big plans. So over time, you can reshape the program strategically, okay? Otherwise, if you change too much and given too much freedom, the project will fail. And that is not your goal. Remember, your number one goal is to succeed. And then lastly, the divine project. And what I mean by divine is the untouchable, nebulous project that's been going on for such a long time that there's no documentation. Nobody knows where the bodies are buried. Everybody, God's saints and sinners, have worked on this project, okay? You don't know as a new person where all the bodies are buried. And there's not a whole lot of corporate memory of what the project is other than it's a really great project. So your job, of course, is to do as little damage as possible, shut up, listen to the experienced people, and take advice from straight shooters. You don't want any funny business going on with this project. Your job is not to mess it up. So do not recommend changes unless the incumbents ask for them. It is a divine, holy project that everybody loves, so don't jack it up. Then you want to research and own the history of the program. And then over time, probably about 3, 4, 5 years, you want to rebrand and make the project stronger over time. Just shut up and listen to your incumbents. Let them do the driving. But you must move deliberately slow to prevent an open rebellion. The last thing you want is the incumbents to turn on you. All right? So it's going to take a few years to win those guys over. So, okay, let's stop there for today. Okay, that's all that we got for today. Some pretty good wisdom from an old guy, right? He's been around, he knows his history, and he's trying to give you some solid advice. Don't change things if you're in a holy project. If you're in a legacy program, maybe slow roll some changes, but don't take too much time. Squash any open rebellions. If you're in a mixed program, you got to be a little bit tough. The boss expects a lot, and your nobles don't. They just want you to kowtow to their needs. And then when it comes to the new stuff, the inherited programs or whatever, you're good to go. You don't even have to change anything. You just do what the last guy did, okay? So that's it in a nutshell. Machiavelli's approach to project management. There's more coming. So if you want to know more information, your job is to contact this website right here, okay? And then sign on for more information. I'll be more than willing to help spill the beans on other things you should probably be doing to manage the people and the resources in your program, okay? Russ Maines from Cranial Media. Thanks for joining me. Good night.